I'm joined now by veteran Republican campaign strategist Doug Heye. He's a former communications director for the Republican National Committee and has over 25 years of campaign experience under his belt. And you don't look like...
I was going to say, you made me feel very old very quickly.
I was going to say, you don't look like you have 25 years of experience like that. But, Doug, okay, somebody like Jack Bogle, lifelong Republican, is not happy with a candidate like Rick Santorum leading the pack. But it seems to me that in Michigan, they like him, though.
Well, in Michigan right now, they do like him. The question is, we know the Rick Santorum surge is real. The question is, there are two questions. One, will it last? And two, which is kind of a subset of the question, can he take a punch? Rick Santorum hasn't gotten a lot of scrutiny so far. Mitt Romney's campaign is making sure that he will between now and Michigan.
Right.
And whether or not he can take that punch, as there's going to be an onslaught of media going against him, is what's going to determine whether or not he really continues past Super Tuesday and then on to the nomination.
Well, where is Rick Santorum most vulnerable then?
Well, I think he's most vulnerable when it comes to two things. One, the economy. Certainly that's where Mitt Romney's strategy has been for the duration of this campaign. And the other is, in a weird sort of way, on social issues. That's his strength, but in a weird sort of way, also a potential weakness. We were talking over the break about contraceptives being an issue, which isn't really what any Republican you would think would be talking about, much less running on. And he has to defend Foster Friese's comments from yesterday about aspirin and just bizarre.
We'll try to avoid that one.
And that's not what a candidate wants to be talking about.
Right.
And there's a truism in politics of when you're explaining, you're losing. Rick Santorum's in the lead right now, but right now he's having to explain things, and that's not a position of strength.
Now, Mitt Romney, though, has tried himself in Michigan to kind of appeal to these Tea Party voters, right? I mean, he's talked about his Detroit background and talked about the auto bailouts being a mistake. Is that the way he should be going, or is he making a mistake trying to tread into that water?
Well, he's trying to move into that water so that if he's able to succeed in Michigan, and they're banking on a win in Michigan, that then he'll be able to propel for the rest of the campaign and really turn it not so much into a two-person race, but maybe a 1.5-person race. Mitt Romney moving forward to the nomination, which, if you're talking auto bailouts outside of Michigan, really not popular in the Republican primary.
No, not at all. Okay, so Doug, if by chance Rick Santorum does in fact win the Michigan primary, where does that leave Mitt Romney? Where does that leave this race then?
It's a two-man race, and it means that we'll see the two of them going head-to-head, really like in the center of a boxing ring, slugging one another. Every day you'll see a surge in money for Rick Santorum, a real surge in money, which will propel him to be able to build the infrastructure that he doesn't have right now. One of the advantages that Mitt Romney has, and even Ron Paul has, is they have real campaigns, real organizations that are doing the day-to-day work to win elections that isn't sexy, that you don't see every day. For instance, getting on the ballot in, say, Virginia or Indiana, where Rick Santorum's not on the ballot. You don't hear about it in debates, you don't read about it in headlines until it's too late, and that's what they're doing.
Okay, Doug, great to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Doug Heye.